I will introduce the limit comparison test. We use this test when the comparison test doesn't give you any conclusion. So since they are so similar, it is necessary to review the comparison test one more time. So let's look at the white handwriting. They are all comparison tests. So in the comparison test, we are doing AN versus BN. So we are trying to compare the difference between AN and BN. AN is the given series. Whatever the problem gave you, that is AN. And then BN, we are going to change a minor difference in AN to make a BN, and then we compare them. So there are two cases. Case 1 is AN less than or equal to BN, and we can prove that BN is convergent. So what is convergent? Convergent, think about a real number, right? So you think about a real number. This R stands for real number. What kind of number is greater than or equal to a real number? The answer is, on the other side of the inequality, you have a smaller real number. So the smaller real number is the sum of AN. Therefore, AN must be convergent as well. Or you can say convergence is less than or equal to convergence. A bigger real number is greater than a smaller real number. So that's what the case 1 is. And then case 2, AN and BN. AN is the given series, and then I am going to change a little bit to make a series BN, and then for BN, I can easily prove that BN is divergent. How come we have to make a minor change to make a series BN? Because if you just use the given series AN, it is hard to tell whether that is converge or diverge using the technique you already learned in here. That's why. So we have to make a minor change, then we have a BN. So BN is slightly easier than AN, because easier means I can quickly determine whether that is converge or diverge. So in case 2, BN is diverge. So diverge means, think about a positive infinity, a very big sum, positive infinity. What kind of number? Look over to the other side of the inequality. What kind of number is greater than or equal to infinity? The answer is a bigger infinity. So this bigger infinity is the sum of AN. Therefore, AN must be divergent because the sum is positive infinity. So that is limit comparison test, right? But sometimes you don't fall into either of these cases. When that happens, you have to move on to the limit comparison test, which is the blue handwriting. So let's look at the left hand side. How about if you don't know what is greater than convergent? Right here, if you don't know what is greater than a convergent. So if you look up, you have convergent less than or equal to convergent, right? But I am asking for, so if I give you a convergent that is greater than something, you know that on the other side of the inequality, that is convergent, that is right here. But how about this? I have a convergent. I am asking you what kind of conclusion is greater than a convergent. There are two possible conclusions. Either you have a bigger convergent, which is a bigger real number, or you have a divergent, right? So we have a infinity greater than a real number. That works too. You have a bigger real number greater than the real number that you just determined. That works too. And then on the other side, how about divergent is greater than what? There are two cases. Divergent is greater than divergent. So you have an infinity. You already know this, that is greater than a bigger infinity. Or you already have an infinity that is greater than a real number. Which one applies to the problem? We don't know. So that's why we have to use the limit comparison test. All right, so here is the limit comparison test. Suppose that we have two series, AN and BN, with positive terms. Here is what we have to do. We have to set up the limit, and then we set up a ratio AN divided by BN if that is equal to C, and if C is finite and C is greater than 0, then either they are both converge or they are both diverge. So that's how the limit comparison test works. I still remember when I was learning this, I don't use the limit comparison test too much. Usually the comparison test, oh, by the way, the comparison test, some textbook call that direct comparison. Some textbook just use the word comparison. But limit comparison, every textbook use this limit comparison. You use this once a while when the direct comparison or simply the comparison test doesn't work. So that's the concept of the limit comparison test. If you think my instruction is helpful, Please give me a like, subscribe, share the video for me. Appreciate your help. In the next video, I will do a bunch of examples for direct comparison test and the limit comparison test. I see you all in the next video.